Seahawks are rolling. Best defense left in the playoffs, the 12th man screaming, 8 non-offensive touchdowns this season. But Sam Darnold is 1-3 against LA, and Stafford just torched them for 457 yards last time. Is this Seattle's moment to shock the world, or are the Rams about to remind everyone why experience beats hype?
But that said, going back and watching Week 16, one thing that jumped out to me, first 3 quarters, Seahawks got very little pressure, 15% rate. Then in the fourth quarter, more than doubled. You saw Leonard Williams and the other pass rushers show up in a big way. They're going to have to in this one for more than 1 quarter, I think, to win this game.
Boogie, I say this with a lot of reservation. I don't believe so. The LA Rams have been teetering these last 2 weeks in the playoffs. I don't think they walked away with a ton of confidence in their performances that they put together 2 weeks back-to-back. And now you get the Seattle Seahawks at home, the 12th man, one of the best defenses in the NFL, the best defense left in this playoffs. I don't believe that the Rams can just hover around being mediocre for majority of this game and thinking that they're going to come through on the last second drive with what Seattle has on the defensive side. So if it is close and they need a drive for a touchdown, I don't believe that trend continues.
The Seahawks score a defensive or kick return touchdown, or a Rams tight end catches a touchdown.
Oh, Rams tight end. Yeah.
Well.
Rams tight end. Although the Rams special teams has been the issue, isn't it? Damn.
He fast.
I'll just do Rams tight ends because there seems to be 19 of them.
There's a lot of them, yeah.
Right.
From a quarterback perspective, you're going to get 3 to 5 chances this game to hit big plays. I do not expect a Week 16 performance again where it's almost a shootout. You got to hit them. You got to hit the big plays because this defense is just too good. And if you drop back and you have these misses, this defense is going to hunt. And so this isn't going to be something where Matthew's got to hit 10 of those explosive throws, but you're going to get a handful of opportunities to make them happen. When they're there, you got to make.
Does that not concern anyone just a little bit that Matthew Stafford has not been playing well in the postseason and that he might be a little bit banged up?
But I just don't agree with it. I think Mina is just talking about things that show up on the stat sheet. And one of the main things that also shows up on the stat sheet is turnovers. He's been protecting the ball relatively, in a space to keep his team competitive in games. Me watching firsthand with the Carolina Panthers games, the first thing when Carolina went down and scored that I said, it's too much time. Anytime you got a guy like Matthew Stafford, a seasoned veteran who may potentially win his first MVP this year, he understands the version of himself which is needed to win football games. He has arguably probably the best duo in all of the playoffs. And these guys are peaking at the right level. You got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and you have a strong rushing attack that really can eliminate all the heroics needed from Matthew Stafford. But make no mistake about it, the last time Matthew Stafford played the Seattle Seahawks, it was record-setting numbers. This is a familiar foe that you understand and know and get to play without the playoffs 2 times a year. I have zero fear, doubt, or any type of hesitancy not to think that Matthew Stafford will do what it takes to win this football game.
Matthew Stafford? I'm sorry, go ahead, Stephen. There, you got it.
No, go ahead, RC. Go ahead, RC.
Matthew Stafford has to play at an MVP level for the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Matthew Stafford has to be his best self for the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Seattle Seahawks. And Sean McVey has to coach at his highest in order to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Mina is exactly right.
You damn right. Matthew Stafford has to play at an MVP level. 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions this year, 4,700 yards passing. That dude has to show up. It can't be the dude that we've seen against Carolina, and it can't be the dude that we've seen against Chicago. Stepped up in big moments, no doubt, but then it's got 5, in terms of his postseason career, 5 game-winning drives. But it can't be just about that. He's got to be elite. Because when I think about Seattle and I think about that defense, when I think about that crowd and how that galvanizes the team, when I think about all of that, and this is an NFC Championship game, a berth to the Super Bowl on the line, it's going to take an elite performance. And RC's right. It ain't just about, it ain't just about Matthew Stafford. Sean McVey did not call a good game against Chicago.
Nope.
That can't happen this Sunday. I mean, I'm looking at the end of regulation. I'm looking at him, RC, and I'm going like this. What the hell are you running the football for? You need a first down. You got 10, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. What the hell are you handing the ball off for a running play for?
when it comes to Seattle and their defense, you have to make Matthew Stafford as uncomfortable as possible. If you sit back there and allow him to carve you up left and right, he's going to throw for over 400. He's going to find Devontae Adams, who didn't play in the last matchup. He's going to find Puka Nacua. He's going to find his tight ends. So if I'm that defensive line, that front seven for Seattle, you got to make life a living hell for Matthew Stafford, because if you don't, there's an opportunity that he's going to shine, and the Rams are going to be going into the Super Bowl.
But you're a basketball guy. If you reach, I teach, though. So if you decide to heat him up, you're going to create and give him a picture. He's seen it all. 62,000 yards passing. He's been in the league for a long time. So you try and blitz him and heat him up.
I'm not saying blitzing, because Seattle, they have one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL. If you can get home with your front without blitzing, that's what I'm talking about.
Joe just told us that ain't happening.
I think for Seattle, they're going to need to play 2 games the best they have all year, because to beat the Rams for Seattle is going to be a tall task. This is a game that's both teams are going to have to play their best. You're talking about teams that are in the same weight class. They've proven that in the 2 meetings this year. If you add up points and yards, they've been separated by 1 point and 1 yard, which is pretty phenomenal. That's as tight as it gets. And to be there for round 3, man, it doesn't get any better than that.
Matthew Stafford is struggling, like legitimately struggling. The man who was supposed to be cruising into the MVP conversation just had his worst 2-game stretch of the entire season against the Panthers and the Bears. Not exactly the 1985 Bears defense we're talking about here, folks. Matthew Stafford's had a bad postseason. This is the guy who had a streak of 8 straight playoff games with multiple passing touchdowns. 8. Snapped against Chicago. No passing touchdowns in the divisional round. 0. Now he's got to face the best defense left in the playoffs, in Seattle, at Lumen Field, with the 12th man screaming so loud you can't hear yourself think. The pressure is real, and the question is simple. Can Matthew Stafford handle it? But hold on. Before we crown the Seahawks, let's pump the brakes for a second. Because the last time these two teams met, Stafford went absolutely nuclear. 457 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Puka Nacua caught 12 passes for 225 yards. The Rams' offense put up a clinic, and they still lost the game. 38 points to 40 points. They gave up 38 points to a Seattle team that saw Sam Darnold throw a pick 6 and an interception in the red zone. Think about that for a second. The Rams had a +3 turnover margin, over 550 yards of total offense. Teams with those stats were 34-0 lifetime. Until that game. Stephen A. Smith isn't playing around with this one either when he say that Matthew Stafford has to play at an MVP level for the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Seattle Seahawks. This isn't Carolina. This isn't Chicago. This is Seattle's evolved defense that's only allowed 19 points over the last 3 games. 1 touchdown in that span. That's lockdown football, people. But here's where it gets really interesting. Sean McVey has 6 playoff wins in games decided by 3 points or fewer. 6. That's championship DNA right there. The man knows how to win close games when it matters most. Both playoff wins this year, 3 points or fewer. He's clutch, he's proven, he's dangerous. Jared Verse has been terrorizing Sam Darnold all season long. 6 interceptions in 2 games against the Rams. Sam Darnold might be 28-4 against everyone else, but he's 1-3 against LA. That's not a coincidence, that's a problem. And when the pressure mounts in the 4th quarter with a Super Bowl berth on the line, do we really trust Darnold to deliver? Because here's the reality. Darnold's been great this year, legitimately great. But this is the NFC Championship Game, the bright lights, the biggest stage, and he's going up against a Rams team that knows him better than anyone. They've got his number, they've got the blueprint, and Verse isn't backing down. The way we do things is just how we are. We are not going to change anything. Sean McVey didn't call a great game against Chicago. Everyone saw it. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, and he's running the ball? That can't happen again. Matthew Stafford's got the weapons. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, a strong rushing attack. But you don't win championships by playing scared. You win by putting the ball in your best players' hands and letting them cook. And Seattle knows they need to bring the heat. Leonard Williams said they need to be better on 1st and 2nd down to force Stafford into pure drop-back situations. Because when Stafford's got time, when he's working off play action, he's lethal. Seattle didn't sack him once in either game this season. Not once. That has to change if they want to win. But don't sleep on Seattle's X factor, special teams. 9 offensive touchdowns this year. 8. 5 on special teams, 3 on defense. That Week 26 game turned on a punt return from Rashid Shaheed. In a championship game that's going to come down to the wire, one special teams touchdown could be the difference between confetti and going home. The chess match is set. McDonald's pressure packages versus McVey's play-calling genius. Stafford's championship pedigree versus Darnold's redemption story. The Rams' offensive firepower versus Seattle's defensive dominance. Can the Seahawks win? Absolutely. They've got the defense, they've got the home field advantage, they've got the momentum. But can they stop Matthew Stafford when the game's on the line, when it's fourth quarter, championship pressure, and everything's hanging in the balance? That's the billion-dollar question, and this Sunday, we're about to get our answer.